Hello, I'm Aaron Q, LMFT. I am the owner and founder of Modern Life Solutions, a therapy group practice based out of Long Beach, California, and New Wave Youth and Family Therapy Services, sorry, it's a mouthful, a 501c3 nonprofit mental health agency, also based out of Long Beach, California. Today, I am going to talk about the differences in certification and the certification process between EMDR and Brainspotting. I think it's a good topic because I want to target people who might be thinking about going one way or the other. As a trauma therapist, trauma-informed therapist, however you'd like to call it, I am currently certified in both. So I've seen both sides of it. I am seeing both sides of it currently, and hopefully my experience can help you make an informed decision as to one way or the other that you want to go. Because let's be real, these are both pretty expensive certification processes, and you want the one that fits you more. I'll start off by saying, just in regards to EMDR, I've been doing EMDR with clients since 2019, and then I started my Brainspotting training journey in October of 2025. Currently, I just jumped right into certification for that, so I'll talk a little bit more about that and that process as well. So I'll get started by saying, hands down, right, just off the bat, either one of these, if you're not already trained in one of these like powerful trauma modalities, either one of these is going to elevate your practice. You are going to get tools that are just going to take you to that next level. If you're just, doing talk therapy, just doing like CBT, DBT, ACT, things like that, this will level up your practice for sure. So I'm not here to say one's better or worse than the other. I'm just here to say they're different, and I'll tell you about those differences, and then hopefully that'll help you to kind of decide which direction you want to go. I'll save you a lot of time, actually. So if you're an associate listening to this, associate or lower, you have to be fully licensed to be credentialed in EMDR. So if you're just thinking about the credentialing part, you could do that with Brainspotting right now. So if we're talking about the training and the practice of it, then keep going, because I'll go over that. So I'll talk about well, first and foremost, let's get it out of the way, right? Price. They actually come out to about the same price. So the EMDR certification requires the basic training. Basic training's a big chunk. Sometimes it's broken down. You'll find lower quality ones, higher quality ones. So there's a little bit of fluctuation there you can play with, but at the end of the day, the basic training versus Brainspotting, phase 1, phase 2, and you can do like an advanced training, or and then the consultation, or the intensive, which is, if you do an intensive, it's just like 10-hour, kind of like 2-day, 5-hour each broken down Brainspotting sessions. So that being said, those add up to, for EMDR certification, the basic training plus you have to get 12 units in an EMDR training on top of that as well. Consultations, right? For EMDR, 50 hours of clients with at least 20 different clients, and then it's 20 consultation hours. Now, as far as these consultation hours and the cost of them, for Brainspotting, and this is the overall picture, Brainspotting is a quicker certification process. So with Brainspotting, I believe it's only 6 consultation hours. With EMDR, it's 20, so more than double. But if you're looking at cost, the cost typically for the EMDR consultations are roughly half of what they are. They're around like 200 each for Brainspotting, and there is options of like group trainings as well for EMDR, so those are a little cheaper. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at like twice the amount, half the cost, they level out again. Everything levels out kind of in the grand scheme of price. You're still gonna like get a application fee and all that stuff for both. So again, they're pretty much both around roughly the same price. You're gonna pay either way. So that I'd say even. So as far as, I'm going to talk about the spirit of them, because I think this is the important thing for people. So EMDR is, if you haven't trained in it yet, it's heavily protocolized. It's very much by the book, by the numbers, like step by step by step, step by step by step. If you are a very structured, kind of like directive CBT type therapist, I think EMDR is more of your cup of tea. Brainspotting is more like flexible, intuitive, more client driven, whereas EMDR is more like clinician driven, and so, or directed, I mean. And so that's kind of the spirit of them, is EMDR is more, you give the directives, they do the reprocessing, and you kind of like go through these 8 phases, like same every time. Brainspotting is more so you're allowing them to process. You go through a few steps, but then most of the session is just them kind of letting them process, and you're like holding spots. It's more client-led. It's more just intuitive based, and you're using your intuition as well. It builds on that, which is great. I think overall Brainspotting is helping me just become a more attuned clinician. So yeah, that's the difference. Another difference that I've noticed personally, and someone else can maybe chime in here and say if they've had a different experience, but for me, I feel like EMDR is maybe too careful sometimes. It focuses a lot on like abreaction, which is the how do you say, hangover you get from doing reprocessing, and Brainspotting seems to just expect it. That's going to happen. It does happen. I've had it happen to me when I got Brainspotted. My clients tell me all the time, like, they feel lower, less energy after processing. So I think it's just, yeah, it's going to happen. And I know EMDR has a whole phase to mitigate the effects of that, which is great, but at the same time, they tend to shy away when there's like dissociation, whereas with Brainspotting, it's like actually taking into consideration that dissociation is normal, and it's just a normal defense that people have. And so, like, let's figure out ways to work with that, right? So there is, let's see. Oh, I have some notes here. Sorry. Yeah, so overall, time-wise, if we're just talking certification, Brainspotting is going to be quicker. They're both great. Like, again, I can't say which one. I've gotten great results with the EMDR over the years, so I've never not. It's very powerful and very effective, and it is consistently effective. Brainspotting, I'm getting maybe like mixed so far for like since October. I've been getting mixed kind of. I've been getting good results with it, but also some mixed results with it. But that might be because it might not be a good fit for some people. I know for some clients, they prefer the structure, they prefer the directiveness, and opposite. I've had the opposite actually. I had someone tell me it wasn't enough going on for them with the Brainspotting, so then we switched to EMDR because you didn't like just sitting there processing. So I think it goes both ways. So yeah, again, Brainspotting certification requirements, don't have to be fully licensed. You can do like another optional advanced training. I'm doing phase 3 with David Grand in July, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, I think I've already done my like 50 sessions, so I'm pretty much gonna be certified after that. And then EMDR is going to take a bit longer because I have to get like the 20 different, I didn't track anything. I didn't even think about certification till now, even years later. So yeah, I can still do it. It just has to be within 2 years of my application to be certified. So we'll get all those hours coming up. I'll have a good mix of both. But yeah, anybody else who's done both, or maybe hasn't done either, and has any questions, yeah, I'd love for you to chime in. Tell me your experience and your preference. I like both. I think both are effective. I in an ideal world, right? If you have all the time and money in the world, I'm blessed to have this practice, which is allowing me to be able to do this. But yeah, in an ideal world, yeah, do both, honestly, because they're both super effective. And people fall into one or the other category as to what they prefer. So yeah, if you can, do both. But if you're an associate, I'd say maybe do Brainspotting first, and then that'll actually prep you more for what to expect from EMDR. So you'll be I think I'm a better brain spotter than I would have been without the EMDR, and then and vice versa. I think if you end up doing EMDR down the line and you do Brainspotting first, you'll be a better EMDR practitioner. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. Like head-to-head, structure versus less structure, longer certification process versus shorter certification process. Another thing, the EMDR training itself was like pretty intensive. It was hard. They tested us. We had to pass these tests on top of the practicum, on top of the like formal case consultations and all that stuff. So I think because it's been around longer and it's more widespread, different standards, if that makes sense. So that's another thing, is expect that if you take a pretty decent quality training. That's about it. I mean, licensed, not licensed, protocol driven versus like attunement driven. A little more of a learning curve here than here, but then again, that might also be because I did this first. That's about that. I mean, Brainspotting is a newer practice. It's a newer modality. So that's what I got for that. But yeah, please chime in. Let me know your thoughts. Take care. Hope that was helpful.